Hello, everyone, and welcome to ROKStudios. I'm Stan Miller. I'm the PR and Analyst Relations Manager for Rockwell Automation in the EMEA region. And I'm joined today by Steve Peleman. He is the CEO of Triple Helix. Steve, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. We've got a great topic today. We're here to talk about creating zero waste foam recycling and cutting carbon emissions by up to 50%. Incredible topic. Sustainability is so important. So before we get into the topic though, could you just tell us a little bit about Triple Helix, where you're based, what your mission is, the background?
Yeah, absolutely. So Triple Helix Molecules as a Service is basically a circular venture studio based in Antwerp, Belgium, in which we try to create new companies that solve a waste issue, an end-of-life issue, mostly in plastics, but not only in plastics. So the first initiative is indeed about polyurethane foams, where we're trying to convert post-consumer waste streams back into valuable raw materials that go back into the industry with as little emissions and footprint as possible, of course.
Amazing. So first question, right? When we take a look at the challenges, what challenges does your company need to consider to help ensure that the foam recovery process is going to be technically and economically viable?
Yeah, so there's just a couple of issues there. Let me say, first of all, of course, you need to get it funded because everyone talks about access to capital and the availability of capital for sustainability projects, but it's not that easy and certainly not nowadays. But let's say that the technical issue, the complexity of recycling polyurethane foam is also a supply chain issue. You need to be able to get the foams back in the right way, because if you put everything on top of each other, different foams, then you cannot get a decent product out of it. So the supply chain needs to be fully controlled. And that's apart from the chemical process, of course, that is also a difficult topic.
Interesting. Let's talk a little bit about technology. Why is it so important for your company to have such precise control over the process? And how have your technology choices, how are they going to help you achieve that?
Well, like I said, you need to sort out the different foams because the chemical composition is different from foam to foam. There's different sorts of polyurethane foam. You have flex foam, you have rigid foam, and in that you also have different variations. That is one thing, but then of course, because it's post-consumer waste, you have a lot of contaminations. And those contaminations can vary depending on how you get the foam to your factory for recycling. And so you need to know upfront what is potentially going to happen, what is potentially ending up in your reactor, because once it's in, it cannot get out, and it will have an effect on the final chemical reaction.
Interesting. So the technologies that you're looking at, I mean, how are these technologies going to help you transition from a proof of concept stage to the viable functioning startup stage?
Well, let me say that there's a big difference between chemicals and chemical engineering. There's also a mechanical part. So there's a lot of work that goes before actually putting those things in a reactor. And they all have to be precisely controlled. So we need flexibility on one hand, which is typical for a circular economy, but we also need 100% control of all the events taking place in the process. And that is why it's so important to have fully controlled system and supporting infrastructure, of course.
Got it. When it comes to your choice of technologies, is your choice of technology important in your plans to scale and expand in the future? And how is that? What's the vision? What's the strategy there?
Well, let me say that we're actually an R&D company, but if you want to prove a point in the market, first of all, access to capital, proving that it can be done in an economically viable way. You also need a single facility that demonstrates this. It's no use trying to convince people, you have to show it. And so the first one, the plant that we're building in Antwerp, is actually a showcase that is going to be presented all over the world. Hence, we are using a partnership that can also help us do that, to internationalize, to globalize afterwards, because we're going to use these standard solutions that are flexible, but standard solutions that can be rolled out internationally. So,
Steve, when that plan is online, can I come and visit?
You absolutely can. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us in the studio today. Great discussion. I love the vision and goal of your company, and I can't wait to see your future success. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about Rockwell Automation technologies that enable sustainability, visit rockwellautomation.com.